Hi everyone, this is Ari, StariAri, and I'm just here to talk about who I am and what my mission is here on beautiful Gaia. So I'll just wait a little bit until I see some awesome people coming in. So I was told, I was not voluntold, but I was kind of made to do this by my guides. A lot of people don't know much about me or have seen me do the card readings and the energy work live for the community. The thing is, this is my mission here on earth. Okay, this is what I do, this is what I came for, among other things, of course. And please share this out if you need to, or if you can. So what it is that I am here to remind everybody about the oneness, okay, which is us and source, okay? We are what we call a collective consciousness or a group consciousness. We've never been separate. We're always going to be one, okay? So this is what my primary mission, which is to remind people that we are one with each other. We are one with all of creation, to include Gaia, any sentient beings, plant life, which is the nature spirits, any animal life, again, nature spirits, and of course, any guides out there, multi-dimensional guides that we have. Another thing about that is to remind people that you are multidimensional, meaning that you are one of many soul shards. You are here specifically to remember that. You are here specifically to go through the cycles of remembrance, learn lessons that need to be learned, integrate them all, of course heal them if you need to, and then move on. Okay, moving on means whatever it looks to you. All right, it could be an ascension, or it could be a moving on from this plane of existence to a higher realm of reality, which is ascension as well, but before the massive ascension. Okay, why does this happen? Well, it depends on the soul's mission, okay? It honestly, everything that has happened to you in this lifetime truly depends on your soul's mission, okay? What you're here to learn, and what are you here to teach other people, okay? There are a lot of souls out here who, we think of it as being tragic. It maybe like that they came here and then checked out right away. And then there's a lot of souls who remain, of course, until, they check out at a later age. There's going to be a lot of souls who ascend with Gaia, and what it is going to be based on the soul's mission, okay? I know it's hard to understand this because we are in the 3D realm, and we are very much attached to the physical realm right now because we're engulfed in it, right? It's everything we see and feel and hear and just are, right? Another thing is my mission would be being a shaman as well, okay? And that's why I'm going through shamanic training. What do I do with that? Well, I do healing and entity removal if applicable, as well as teaching how to do the same thing, okay? I do a lot of work in the fourth dimension of creation and beyond, okay? Multidimensional. Like I said, we're all multidimensional. The thing with this is sometimes we have to look at it at the grand scheme of things, okay? Being a shaman means you are pretty much engulfed in understanding what it is to be in the light, as well as what it is to be in the dark or in the shadows, okay? doesn't mean that it is completely evil. Doesn't mean none of that stuff. So what it is the mindset of the shaman means to remove the barriers of humanity, removing the whole separation barrier that we have, or the going through the veil. Okay, so you're going beyond the veil. So that is one of my other missions as well, and understanding that not everything that we perceive as being dark or a shadow is evil. Okay, understanding that there's a difference between that, and understanding that all of creation has a purpose. All right, this is what my mission is. Okay, I know a lot of people are out there who still struggle daily with understanding that, where there are people and there are beings who are opposing forces living here as well as in another reality. All right, the opposing force is primary mission is to help you grow. Okay, a lot of people don't understand that, because a lot of people still have that let's eradicate the opposing force mentality. Okay, when in fact what it is to learn from the opposing force, learn what it is that you need to learn, seek the healing that needs to be healed within. Okay, that is exactly what they're here to do, is mirror or bring to the surface that of which you have denied for a very long time. Mirror and bring to the surface that of which you have been you haven't healed in so many ways. Okay, so this is something that I am here to teach as well, with understanding that sometimes we have to get to the root of our own issues. Okay, and then as soon as we do that, as soon as we acknowledge that we do have what I call an imprint, which is an energetic memory from your past that hasn't been acknowledged, or you have denied for a very long time and haven't healed and suppressed. As long as you start acknowledging that it still exists within you, and you take the steps to understand it, as well as seek what it is that is teaching you, as long as you do that, all of these negative forces, or the opposing forces, to include physical people and non-physical beings, are going to vanish. Okay, this is the connection to us and them. All right, this is why it happens. Okay, a lot of people think that it happens because of a past life, of any other action that we've taken or haven't taken. Okay, and you know, that does apply in some cases, but not necessarily in all. Okay, and I'm here to tell you that it is going to be a unique thing for each and every one of you. Understanding that we need to look at it in this way. We need to understand that we are not victims. Okay, and that is another thing that I'm here to teach, is the whole victim mentality is completely just an ego trip thing. You know, the ego will always help you understand what it is that you need to look at as well. Okay, a lot of people think the ego is an opposing force as well. Okay, it is in so many cases, but it is also necessary for the learning process here on Gaia. Okay, so the victim mentality needs to be understood. Anytime you have a negative thought about yourself, anytime you feel sorry for yourself, anytime you feel sorry for somebody else, you know, stuff like that, that you need to catch that. You need to catch that, and you need to ask yourself, why am I still thinking that way, right? Because it is also a indicator of what needs to be healed or acknowledged. Okay. Hi guys. And Rebecca has a good question. How can we consciously work to release imprints? It is to acknowledge them to begin with, okay? Acknowledge that they're still there. And then ask your higher self, what can I do with this knowledge? What can I do that I know that this imprint still exists because of the patterns that I have actually seen coming into my life, of the people who I have been attracting to teach me that this imprint still exists. Okay, when you acknowledge that, that is when you start the process of removal, or I guess you could say transitioning of the energies, transfiguration, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and then healing if you need to. Okay, and this is for yourself. It has nothing to do with, I mean, if it's really up to the soul, if this is what they want to do, the healing with others, of course, but it is up to you. But honestly, everything is for you. Everything that's happening around you is for you. Okay, it is to teach you. It is to help you grow. It is to help you realize who you really are. It is to help you understand your power. And the power is the ability to create your own reality. Okay. And this is what I'm here to teach as well, where I've learned this and I'm still learning, you guys. And so that's why it's a whole student teacher type of energy with me, with whomever I give this knowledge to or this information to, because I learned from them too. I learned a lot about myself from other people, from my interactions with others, okay? And I am always healing myself. I am always integrating these lessons thanks to whoever I am, you know, pretty much interacting with. Because I understand that I am both a teacher and a student at the same time. And so this is what I'm here to help people remember as well. Another thing that is about my mission is to help people understand that healing is possible, that the person, you, everybody out there can heal themselves. Okay? It is a mindset. It is an energy. It is understanding how to connect. It's more or less understanding that the connection is always there. Okay? It is a remembrance process as well. Okay, that's why I do the things that I do live, so that you guys might have like a little, I guess you could say, a ripple effect with your remembrance. If you see me doing something, you're gonna be like, some people have told me that, oh my God, that's how I do healing, you know, or some people have told me this is something very familiar to me, right? So this is what I do to help people, you know, understand that they have the power to heal themselves. They have the power to help others as well, okay? And then another aspect of that is channeled messages and connecting to my higher self and your higher self, okay? And how to do that as well. And I could go on and on about this subject, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm here for this. And I understand that a lot of people don't know that or have questions about that. But I do have these services. I actually updated the services on my business page so that you guys could browse through, and everything and all the information that I'm telling you guys about is my own personal remembrance process. And I'm like 100% sure that by you guys speaking to me and actually seeing me do these things, it'll trigger your own remembrance process of how to do things. And it is going to be your own unique way, okay? Oh, yay, Norma! Because everybody has a unique way of doing things. There is no right or wrong when it comes to remembering your own truth, your own spiritual truth, okay? There is no right and wrong of being here, of being a human, okay? There is no right and wrong, okay? I mean, of course, there's some humans who decide to do things in an extreme way, but you know what? That is their own mission, okay? They are here to teach us as well, right? There's some humans who decide to go the opposite of the light. And that in itself is a lesson for us, okay? Because they're here to show us that this is how it can look if we deny our power and deny the light, right? So this is all I want to say. And of course, you know, who am I, right? Who am I? Well, my name is Ari, or Ariana, and I've been very intuitive since I was a child. Okay, I had a hard time as a kid. I was very, very closed off. I didn't like, and I knew who I liked right away because I was very empathic. Okay, and right away I just didn't understand why. You know, why I didn't like certain people, or I didn't want to be around certain people. And my mom, of course, didn't understand why either. So she would get really upset with me because I wouldn't want to go say hi to a stranger, or that she knew, of course, or say hi to an adult that she knew, you know, or say hi to even family members. Because I could feel their energy, and I could feel it that it was unbalanced, and it would give me like I would get really like just apprehensive and just didn't want to be around them, right? So ever since I was a child, I was very empathic. Another thing was I was very clairvoyant as well. I could see things that not other people could see as a kid, and it, I remember my first memories as speaking to these other dimensional beings, like they were my friends, right? Like just speaking to them, like, hey, what's up, you know? But then when I started getting indoctrinated, I started getting into, or my mom started pushing us more into the church. And by the way, I was raised Catholic. When she started doing that, I started to understand their point of view when it comes to these beings, okay? Where it was a no-no, it was shunned, it was a no, you can't do that type of mentality, okay? So I started getting scared, you know, like, oh, I heard like the stories, like, oh, possession, or oh, you know, if you keep speaking to these beings, they're evil, or, you know, all this stuff, they're going to start doing evil things to you, and what, all this other stuff based off of fear, right? So I decided to close that side of myself off. For a very long time, as a teenager, it was like fluctuated. It was either enhanced or it was just completely gone, you know. And I struggled a lot as a teenager because I felt alone. I felt completely alone, like I didn't belong here. I felt like the outsider, like the black sheep of the family, right? And so, and this is, I honestly think this is like a typical route for all of us who are out here as spiritual light workers, where we do feel that way oftentimes in a point in time in our life, in our growth, where we do feel like the outsider, right? So I was always by myself. I would always shut the world out. I was always happy being alone. Especially as a teenager, I just didn't like, I guess you could say I didn't like people as a teenager, because again, like I said, it was like either amped up, like my gifts were amped up, or they were just completely gone, right? There is no happy medium. And so I would always close myself off to friends and family members. I would shut the world out for a very long time because of it. And then as I started getting older, as I started realizing that, hey, you know what, there's other people out there who are like me, because of the spiritual community, I started coming into it slowly, of course, understanding that I'm not crazy. You know, like, I'm not crazy. There's other people who have the same gifts, you know? And so, and this didn't hit me until I was like in the military. And by the way, I am a military veteran. I was in for 9 years, in the Air Force, active duty. So I've been there and done it. I traveled the world. I seen what I had to see, and I learned what I needed to learn when I was in the military. But in the military, it was a very, I was very much Archangel Michael energy in the military. Where I was just like, I'm the hero and I'm gonna help people and I'm gonna, you know, be the one who protects people and all that stuff, all that great stuff, right? But it was too, on that side, it was too much. I was like, I seek justice and, you know, that type of person. And that was too much, you know, because if you get too much into the justice side, you forget the compassion, right? You forget compassion. And so this is something that I was going through at, you know, in my early 20s where I had to learn to balance that energy out, okay? Because I noticed that it was very much an isolation type of energy as well. So I was doing a pattern all over again when I was a kid, teenager, and then as a young adult. The whole me wanting to be right, me wanting justice, me wanting to be the protector type of cyclic energy. So this is when I started seeking understanding of who I was, what my mission was, and why I had certain abilities, okay? And so honestly, the first video I've ever watched on YouTube was by Doreen Virtue. And I know a lot of people know who Doreen Virtue is, but if you don't know, she is the angel lady or the angel channeler or whatnot. She has a lot of angel decks, a lot of different oracle cards and stuff like that. She was the first one who helped me understand that, you know, everything that I was experiencing was real, by just watching what she had to say about, you know, angel oracle cards and stuff like that. And then after a while, I started reading her books as well. The first book that I got was, I believe it was Angel Numbers. And then the secondary book was talking about like pretty much soul composition or your soul shard, like earth angels or earth angel realms or something like that. Anyway, that book intrigued me because that book, I could relate to every single one of those things that she was describing, right? And I just felt kind of weird about it. Like I wasn't just one category of that. I was multiple ones. And so I started looking and researching more about multidimensional selves, right? Especially when it comes to your soul shards and your soul energy. And so I came to the conclusion that a lot of us out here are multidimensional, not just one group, right? You're not just made up of one group. And then oh, hey Jessica. But you know, and so when I started researching more on that, I was just like, well, this makes sense, you know, that we are not just one category, you guys. We're not just one person and that is it. We are in every dimension. We exist everywhere at once, right? And so that was my journey into understanding who I was. And I'm still going through it. You know, I'm still finding soul shards of myself in different dimensions and figuring out who they are, who I am, and then, if necessary, integrating. But so I went through that, and then I started looking into like natural healing remedies like herbology and essential oils. And I began to do a lot of work with sacred plants. And so I began to understand that sacred plants hold their own energy as well as, you know, nature spirits are always surrounding them. And then I started looking into crystals and gemstones, and by golly, I have a big collection. You know, and so I started understanding, you know, I could feel their energy, and I could understand that they have their own, you know, energy, so they're sentient as well, right? And then I started going through, I went through a phase where I was you know, because we all fluctuate through phases. I went through a phase where I was asking a lot about my mission to other people, like other psychics, whatever you want to call them. So every single one of them would say, you are a healer. This is what your mission is. You're here to heal. You're here to heal, you know. And I was just like, yeah, whatever, you know. And this was, like I said, like in my early 20s. And so I was just like, yeah, whatever. That doesn't make sense, right? But then they would always tell me, well, how do you feel energy? You know, you feel energy. You're intuitive, right? And so I was just like, yeah, I didn't look into it. And so instead I would just start practicing like tarot or how to read oracle cards. And this was what I used to do. I would just do it for myself, and then I started doing it for other people for a very long time in my early 20s. And then, you know, I kept doing it over and over again. And then, like, I think when I was about midpoint, like 24 years old, that's when I started seeing clairvoyantly again. I started seeing orbs. I started seeing energy. I started seeing just shadows, you know, and stuff like that. And it freaked me out, of course. It freaked me out. And so it stopped again. So it's kind of like it was like a traumatic experience, because I was still holding within my auric field, or what I call the luminous body, that imprint of fear since I was a child, since I was told by the church or my family that it's a bad thing to see these things, right? And so it took me a while to understand that cycle, understand that lesson, and heal it. And then when I moved, because I went from Northern California when I was in the military, and then I moved overseas to South Korea. And in South Korea, the orbs began again. I started seeing them. I started seeing shadow people. I started seeing all that stuff again. And by this time, actually before I left to South Korea, I had a friend that was going through her own process of understanding who she was, and, you know, all this stuff was happening to her. She thought that her home was haunted. She thought that she was, you know, being attacked at night and all that stuff. So I helped her out with that, because I could feel the energy in her home. I told her that, you know, the best thing to do is neutralize the energy with white sage and all this stuff. I helped her out a little bit with that stuff. And I told her it's because they're trying to get your attention, meaning that they're trying to help her understand who she is as a psychic or medium, you know. That is her mission, right? So then after I left, I went to South Korea, and then I started having my sight again, and I embraced it this time without fear. And after that, I moved to England, and that is where I met my twin flame. And we're still in union. But in England, the activity was heightened. Like, it felt like that exact place was the location where I started integrating more of who I was, or I am, where I started working with it even more, with energy, learning how to do energy healing. That is when I accepted that I was going to be doing energy healing, okay? And you know, readings and stuff like that. Of course, I was still in the military, and so that's kind of like judgment, you know, and so I didn't want to be judged by anyone, and so I kind of didn't share that with people, only with the friend that I had who was in the process of remembering herself, right? And so we did a lot of work together. I started learning more and, you know, talking to you know, mediums that were actually teaching how to do energy work. And so I learned a lot about that and how to do energy work. And so I met my twin flame. It was so funny because a lot of people think, you know, the whole twin flame thing is honestly, I'm going to just say this because this is how I see it, because I've seen every type of twin flame you could think of, every type of scenario that you could think of, okay? I've seen those who haven't been in union and won't be. I've seen those who haven't been in union and won't be physical. I'm talking about physical union, because their twin self or their other half is not even here. There's so many of them who have a twin that passed away. There's a lot of them who have a twin who doesn't exist in the physical. They exist in a different realm. And then I've met many of them who are in union, and then I've met many of them who won't be in physical union, because that is what the soul wants, because the soul craves to be in union with somebody else, right? So these are twin flames that are usually married with children, and they're extremely happy. They've met their twin flame, and they want nothing to do with them in the physical. But they do work with them energetically, okay? And that is what I've come to the conclusion, that it is not necessarily supposed to be a physical union, as long as you understand that your mission is an energetic one. Okay, you're always connected energetically. You're always working with one another energetically to accomplish this mission here on Earth. Okay, I know there's a lot of people out there who are just going to be like, yeah, whatever, that's not applicable to me or whatever, and that's fine, you know, because like I said, it is different for everybody. Okay, it is going to be your choice as to what you want to do with your whole twin flame thing. Okay, mine, it wasn't that bad. I mean, I met him and we started dating right away, and we have been separate since. Of course, there's lessons that we learned together, but the thing with us is we've learned these lessons separately already. Okay, and so when we were faced with the same lesson again with one another, we learned how to work with it, how to work through it, and how to learn from it, and how to heal. There's ups and downs all the time. It's just like every relationship. You just got to know the person. You know, you're here to learn about them, who they are, and how they teach you as well about yourself. And that is the whole purpose of any relationship, whether it is a romantic one, a friendship, or with a family member or loved one. Okay, that is what we're here to do. For my journey, and you know, I don't like talking about this a lot because I don't like to give the impression that the twin flame thing is gonna be positive for everybody, because it won't be for everybody, you know, and that's perfectly fine. But for me, I understood that there is a lot of aspects of myself that mirrored through him, through my twin, you know, my fiance, and I understood that there's a lot of that stuff that needed to be healed within me, and I understood that he even acknowledged that I mirrored unhealed wounds for him as well, you know, and we're working through this stuff, you know, together. The one thing I would like to say is that being a twin flame does not mean that you're superior or better than anybody else, okay? And I will say this again, you are not superior or better than anybody else because you're a twin flame, okay? A twin flame, sacred union, whatever you want to call it, is just that it is a union with yourself. That's who you are. A lot of people like to think of themselves as superior or better than anybody else if they're a twin flame, which is, in my opinion, is BS. That is ego speak. Okay. So this is what I want to say is, for those who are still out there struggling with the whole concept of twin flame, meaning they are still trying to get into a physical union with somebody who might be abusive, either physically or verbally, or might be emotionally withdrawn or emotionally unavailable, you need to start asking yourself why. Okay, because it is going to be a result of an unhealed wound within you. For those of you who are still struggling with the ego regarding twin flames, that you are better and superior than anybody else here on Gaia, you need to ask yourself why. Because again, it's something within you, okay? We are all here equally, okay? We are all equal. This is what I call the oneness, okay? No one is above, no one is below. We're all equal. This is why I always refer to it that we're always connected, you guys, because we are, you know, we are always connected to one another, as well as all of creation, okay? The thing with me is I'm not the type of person that I used to be, okay? I used to be, like I said, I used to be that hero. I used to be the one who was the judge and jury, right? And that was because of my mentality in the military, and that is something that I still to this day work through. I always catch myself when I feel that wanting to judge somebody else, I catch it right away, because this is something that I'm still trying to understand about myself, remove that programming, right? So that is why I am very adamant about understanding that other people, everyone out there, even though we're one, we're still unique, okay? We still have our own unique mission. We still have our own unique path to walk, all right? And this is applicable to everybody. So the one thing that I did notice, especially with the spiritual community when I started coming into it, is the judgment with one another, as well as with those who aren't awake, so to speak. Those words translate into a negative energy for me. Back then, like I said, I was still had that mentality when I came in with the whole hero, judge, and jury thing. And this is something that I've been working on myself for a very long time, where we should not judge others. We should not judge techniques. We should not judge other people's experiences. That's their own. If it's true for them, it's true for them. If it's not true for you, then that's your own truth, okay? And that's the thing with me, is when I see people going after one another in this community, I kind of question why, you know, like, we're all here to be, you know, unified, right? We're all here to be one, and we're still struggling daily with the whole separation process, with the mirror effect, as well as the understanding that yes, you are a unique person, but you're still one with all of life, right? Because sometimes we get into this mode where, because somebody, I'll give you an example, vegans against meat eaters. That's a big example right there. A lot of vegans believe that they're superior, spiritually speaking, than somebody who still eats meat or animal products that's a spiritual person. I'm not saying everybody does. I'm saying a vast majority that I've actually encountered still have those feelings. And that is okay, because why? That is something that they need to work on their own. A lot of meat eaters think that making fun of vegans or being hurtful to them, or making them out to be crazy is a good thing. And again, you know, two wrongs don't make a right, right? So it is something, this is polarity in play. This is what this earth is about. This is what these lessons are about, is seeing the polarity in play between one another, especially in the spiritual community is still there, as well as spiritual people in this spiritual community judging those who are still in a religious mentality, as well as religions, or people who are in a religion mentality judging those who are spiritual. Polarity at play, okay? And observing this is an understanding that it actually does exist still. It will help us all understand and heal what it is that we need to heal within us as well, okay? That is why we are here. That is what the energies are still going through here on Gaia, the polarities, the yin and yang, you know. Another thing that I've noticed, and like I said, not everybody is this way. It's just, you know, the ones that we see in social media, especially the ones who think by hiding behind a computer and being, you know, rude to other people is a good thing. That's your path. But to be honest with you, these people, again, are the opposing force for a lot of spiritual people who want to be of service to others, but are afraid to be in the public because of this type of opposing force, that they're going to be attacked, that they're going to be ridiculed, that they're going to be judged, right? Again, polarity at play. And so acknowledging that, hey, what you do for your mission and the way you do it is the best thing for you. If you don't want to be public, if you don't want to do videos, if you don't want to do any of that stuff, that's good. You know, choose whatever you want to choose. But eventually, you know, and this is based on a Mayan theory, eventually you will be one of many who will lead, not lead, but like kind of like teach other people. It's kind of like the whole Jesus, how Jesus had disciples, right? So he was teaching, right? And so this is what is going to happen with you, where you're going to have to help other people. So you're going to have to be more open about, you know, your gifts and your mission so that you could help other people. And that is why I'm here as well, to help encourage that. If it's necessary, of course, not pushing you through to it. And that's the thing with me, you know, back in the day, I used to be like that, like, oh, you need to be out there, you need to say this stuff, or you need to be more, you know, available to, you know, because you need to do your mission or whatever. Now I'm just like, no, let them do whatever they need to do, because that is the best thing for them. It is as it should be for each and every one of us. Yes, Katie. Yes, it is. And the thing with that, it's you know, the ego, Katie, the ego is a lesson in itself, where it's teaching us what to look for, right? The same thing with understanding, you know, different categories of spirituality. With whenever we, you know, and Emmy made a post about this. Whenever we categorize ourselves, or whenever we think of ourselves in just a group, away from somebody else's group, separated, you know, we fall into that as well. We fall into the ego lesson of separation or polarity, right? So this is pretty much understanding that we all have a different mission and we all perceive things differently. And that is the beauty of it, okay? That's the beauty of being here and being of service to others, because we will be attracting those who are similar to us, and then we will be attracting those who oppose us as well. And this is not something that should be feared. This is something that you should be grateful for this. Because, you know, when there's somebody who comes into my awareness, who is my opposing force, then I'm like, okay, let's see what this is teaching me, you know? If they're rude, of course, blocked, you know, of course, but because I don't take any crap from anybody. I don't care how spiritual we are, we still shouldn't take any crap from anybody. We still should stand our ground and be, you know, respectful to one another. And if somebody disrespects us, then, you know, call it out, you know, just say like, you're being disrespectful, bye, you know, I don't have to deal with you. And so then I, you know, understand that, okay, what is this person still teaching me about myself? You know, what am I still holding on to that this person came into my awareness, right? And that is usually, I think 90% of the time, it is a fear of being ridiculed and judged, right? So looking at that again and healing that again and again and again and again, because we're just going to continue to do it. until our higher self is satisfied. Of course. But you know, and that's why I'm here, you guys, and this is why I'm making this video, so that you understand who I am, okay, as a person, as a spiritual being, as a multidimensional self, right? My services range from energy work to card readings and channeled messages, you know, and any service that I give is usually, I like doing a face-to-face. If it's not a physical thing, then over Skype or over Facebook video messenger. Because I believe in the interaction of two souls. I believe in wanting to understand how they look like, their reactions and stuff like that. Because, you know, and this is something that I've noticed with the whole technology age, where texting is superior communication, I guess. You know, it's just, it honestly doesn't help anybody when you text to see how your words are gonna vibrate or how they're gonna affect somebody else, right? So that's why I like seeing somebody face to face, because I want to make sure that they're getting as much information as I can give them from their higher selves, and seeing their reaction as well to the words that I'm saying, okay? Because like I said, when texting, a lot of things, I guess, you know, there could be misinterpretations, right? A lot of people could get offended by certain words, lack of periods or commas, you know, stuff, whatever, you know? And so my interaction with people that is why I do it this way. That is my own personal preference. You know, you don't have to do it that way. You could do it, you know, over the phone, or, you know, during a message, or even emailing them their reading, whatever. But in my experience, especially because the way that I am, I rush things. When I text fast. I don't care about commas or periods or any of that stuff. And so it might be misinterpreted, okay? And so that's why I do it this way. And because it gives the opportunity to ask questions as well, you know, and it gives me that connection with them as well, because I love connecting with people. I like talking to people, which is the total opposite of what I used to be as a child and a teenager. And so I'm learning and growing, as you can see. I'm still doing it, you know, and so yes, exactly, Katie. You're welcome, Claudia. But yeah, you know, and I just wanted to share this part of me to you guys, because I know a lot of people are probably like, who the hell is Ari? Who is StariAri? Who the hell is she? Or they just know me because, you know, I'm always with Emmy or Jax, you know, and that's how they know who I am or whatnot. But you know, before that, I actually have a group named Starseeds of Love and Light. I started that last year. So people in that group already know who I am. So a lot of people are probably like, who's Ari? You know, how long has she been doing this? I've been doing this since last year. Like publicly like this. And then I met Emmy, you know, and then I met Jax, of course. And it just went from there. And you know, I gotta say that it's funny because in the military, I've met a lot of people that I just am in love with, you know, and like I said, they had mirror effect as well. And I'm still friends with them, of course, till this day. And in high school, the same thing. And then in the spiritual community, you know, I've met a lot of beautiful people as well. And just when you have that interaction and that connection with somebody, it is just feeling like you're finally home. You know, because for a very long time, like I said, as a kid, as a teenager, I felt like I didn't belong here. You know, I felt like this is not where I live. I'm not from here. And then finally, you know, as an adult, as I started being more open and connecting with others, I started feeling like I do belong here. I am home, you know, temporarily home. but it's still home, you know, because you guys are here and I interact with you guys, so you guys are home. So this is something that I've noticed about myself, where I just do so much want that interaction, because it is very much helping me grow, you know, and I hope I help whoever's out there grow as well. So that is my mission here. You know, I'm here as a diverse person, diverse, multidimensional, and I know everybody else is the same way. I've seen it through the readings. There's different energies coming in, which is beautiful. And then the other thing about energy that I would like to talk to you guys about is it's constantly changing, okay? Just like we are as well. We're constantly changing and growing. We're not the same person that we were a minute ago, you know? And even with the physical body, if you notice, the cellular structure within you is completely different. New cells are created right away in the body, you know. Old cells die off, new cells are created, as well as with blood. New cells for the blood flow daily, you know. And so same with energy. It's not stagnant. It is going to continue to flow like the rivers. It is going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to change. And with readings, I'm going to say this because I've always had this encounter with people who I've read before, especially last year before I met Emmy and Jax. I've always had people coming to me saying that certain readers couldn't read them, or certain readers couldn't really, like, they didn't really get it right or something like that. And I did. And I told them, you know, it's not the reader's fault or anything like that. I asked them straight out, like, how were you feeling? How were you feeling before your reading happened? Or how were you feeling when you were doing the reading, right? And they always said that they were already negative. And they already had their walls up, right? So I would like to say this to you guys. Readers, anybody who is clairvoyant, anybody who is a medium, anybody who sees energy will always read and interpret it at that very moment. Okay? Whether it is their fault or not, I don't think they should be blamed, but they will always see what they need to see at that moment in time, because this is a lesson in itself. Okay? For a lot of these people who came to me, they were saying, oh my God, you know, this reader doesn't know how to read, or they're a fake, or they're a fraud, you know, stuff like that. And I would tell them, no, they're not. It's not that. It is because your higher self is speaking loudly to me and is saying, it is your time to listen to your intuition. It is your time to be your own reader. It is your time to be your own medium. And this is why it happened, because it was a lesson for them to start trusting their own intuition, to start relying on their own power and their own self and their own connection and their own wisdom. So that's what I want to say about that. I mean, of course, there's people out there who do this as a living. And of course, there's going to be some that are not as awesome as others, because, you know, they're in that vibration of lack. Okay. And when you're in a vibration of lacking something, you get desperate, right? So understand that that does happen sometimes. And, you know, I don't want to say don't be judgmental, but understand that there's some people who unfortunately have struggles in life, you know, financial struggles, or they might be in a bad mood for that reading. But we're human, you know, we are human. And so, you know, take it like that. Take it that this is a lesson to be compassionate with yourself and with others as well. And so that's how I used to tell these people when they used to complain, you know, and then, you know, later on they'll just be like, oh my god, you were so right, you know, because I got another reading with a certain person and they had it spot on. So it's gonna be, because the human factor will always play a role in how people read, how people interpret energy and stuff like that. Okay, so don't beat yourself up, don't beat them up. You know, just compassionate, you know, compassion is the key. Hi, Missy. Oh, thank you. You've helped me so much too, because, you know, like I said, every person that comes into my life that, you know, I have sessions with, they help me, you know, remember, you know, kind of like motivate me to continue, you know, to continue what I'm doing, because, you know, it actually makes me feel really awesome that I help them, because this is what I am doing here. I'm being here of service. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to be of service to you. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad. But yeah, so you guys, just, you know, the whole thing that I'm here, this is what I'm here to do, is here to teach, you know, this stuff, and learn as well, you know, learn myself through you guys, you know, and vice versa. The thing with me is, I'm going to continue to learn. I'm going to continue to be a student, because that is what I have my mindset already. I love learning about everything and anything. and I'm just going to continue to do this. I'm going to continue to be a student, as well as to give the information that I've learned out there for those who are willing to listen. But yeah, so like I said, those are my services. Like I said, it's readings and healing work, and you know, and just all that good stuff. And one day I would like to see you guys provide the services that you need to provide. That's the way. That's how I see it. Is like encouraging those who are willing and able, of course, and of course continue to encourage you guys to rely and trust on your own intuitive gifts, as well as your own path. But yeah, thank you guys for being here with me. And like I said, this is just a video to help you guys understand who I am and what I'm here to do. And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to continue to change. I'm going to continue to go through the energy cycles, going with the flow, everything like that. You know, I am a human being. I do have emotions, so I'm going to continue to use them properly for myself. And I hope everybody does as well. And one thing about emotions is to understand that they are helpful as well. You know, even if you're angry, even if you're resentful, even if you're sad, even if you're depressed, it is always going to help you understand yourself better. You know, can't be high up in the clouds and ignore everything else, you know. You gotta come down and understand who you really are here as a physical being, as well as a spiritual being. Okay, gotta integrate both. So thank you guys again for watching and for being here. And like I said, yes, Missy, yes, exactly. Spiritual being having a human experience. Exactly. Yep. Thank you, Jenny. But you know, everything happens for a reason. I know this is a cliche to say, but it really does. And the reason is for growth. Okay. And when we start understanding that mindset, when we start implementing it and understanding, hey, you know what? I'm not a victim. Hey, you know what? This didn't happen to me. It happened for me. Or, hey, you know what, this is a lesson in itself, you know, and understanding that it happened for a reason, for myself and for my growth, then we start looking at the whole 3D as not being so bad. You're welcome, Kathy. You know, and so, and I'm not saying, you know, that there's not real victims out there. There is, you know, of course, but a lot of them who have been through these struggles are like one of the the strongest people that I've met, you know, and you know, they've been able to heal that stuff, you know, and that's beautiful. But like I said, it's making sure that we are present as well, you know, making sure that we understand that we are supposed to be present here on Gaia. We're supposed to be in the physical for a reason. And teaching, you know, whoever else about that stuff as well, you know. Hi, Rena. It's okay. You could watch it all over again. It's just me talking about myself. But, you know, and that is one thing that I like to point out, is that we are physical for a reason, you know, and we are here for integration purposes. We're here to learn about this world, as well as not to deny it, of course. Connecting with Gaia is the key. Connecting to, because, you know, we are of Gaia as well. But again, thank you guys. And I would like to give you guys some recommendations on books. If you guys are interested in anything to do with like shamanism, ancient Mayan information, I highly recommend you guys read The Surfers of the Zifuya by Jose Arguelles. So this is how the book looks. And this is just his own personal journey, you know. He's a channeler, a medium, and a shaman. And he, you know, he has information on here that's very important regarding what he has been channeling for years and years and years about what happened with the Mayans, right? And so if you guys are very much interested in that, I highly recommend. Like I said, this is his own channeled information. You don't have to completely, you know, rely heavily on it, because it's his own perspective. But some of the information in here is very interesting, and it actually resonated with me. So I hope it resonates with you guys. And then I would like to recommend a card deck. Well, actually two of them. The first one would be the Angelarium Oracle of Emanations, and this is how it looks. This is information about the Tree of Life based on the Kabbalah. And again, the Kabbalah, it's actually an interesting, they have a lot of interesting information as well if you would like to learn about the Kabbalah. But what it is in every location, every space in the Tree of Life, there are angels who are actually in charge of them. The Tree of Life is pretty much like Metatron's cube, right? So we're here somewhere, right there. So it looks just like that, and well, there's more aspects and stuff. But I highly recommend that you guys try to get this type of oracle card, because as soon as you start connecting with these angels, they're gonna reveal a lot more information. Because it's intense energy, I swear. Like, every time I'm just like, oh my god, I feel like I'm floating. Every time I use it. And then another one would be the Galactic Heritage cards, you know, and those who are interested in connecting with your galactic families or your past lives. I highly recommend that, and that is the Galactic Heritage card by Lisa Royal Holt. And they are on, let me see, where did I get them? If you Google them, they're gonna come up on Amazon, okay? Rena said, what? What, for the book, Rena? Is that what you want? Jose? Here, I'll show you again. Here, the closer. Jose Arguelles. Okay. So I do recommend him, and I do recommend other books by gosh, what's his name? Villalobos or something like that. Dr. Villalobos. He has like this weird and unique last name. But I will type it on the comments below. I don't have it. I have it on my Kindle. But that is another thing that I do recommend, is like any books for him, because he's a shaman as well. With the his tradition is the Peruvian tradition, or the Incan shamanic tradition. I highly recommend him. But I'll type it below because I don't have my Kindle here, and there's children screaming out here. They're playing. It's summertime here, so they're outside getting, you know, they're playing with each other, so that's why they're screaming. It's nothing, nobody's committing murder or anything like that. They're not being harmed. They're just right here running around. Just letting you guys know. Okay, good. Rita. And I have other, oh yeah, and I recommend reading about Lisa Royale Holt's books as well, because she is a channeler for galactic beings. I recommend her books. Just anything that, if you're interested in, just, you know, just look for it. And that's what I do. I usually like just Google something because it gets in my head. Like my guides are just like, you need to look for this. And I'm just like, what? Like, I don't even, you know, like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So they're like, Google it. And I'm just like, okay. So I Google whatever they say, and then it'll come up with like a list of like books, or, you know, or movies or whatever else. And I'm just like, oh, okay, all right. You know, and whatever I am attracted to, I usually pick out. And it turns out to be a good pick. But another thing would be, I do recommend for people who haven't done energy work, or who haven't done any type of these things, to just get a pendulum. Emmy has pendulums that she sells on her website, but this one is not on her website. This is actually from England. This is it is beechwood. I have a lot of pendulums that are crystal pendulums, and they don't like working with me, because they're stubborn. And they like working with other things. They don't like working with me when I ask questions like intuitive questions and stuff like that. They'll answer things like, chakra work and energy work and stuff like that. Yes, they'll work with me with energy work and stuff like that, of course, but they don't want to work with me when it's just, let me talk to my higher self type of questions. And so I'm just like, all right, whatever. And so I use the wood ones because they'll be like, yes, of course. But the way I teach pendulum, I do have that service as well, where I teach how to use a pendulum. The way I teach it is not based on your typical, like with, you know, there's a sheet of paper and it says yes, no, maybe, and then like directions and stuff like that. I don't do that, because I want you to trust your intuition. I mean, this is intuition too. I'm not saying, you know, it's bad, but my method is, instead of like what it is, a lot of people have the ability to move it with their mind. Okay. And so when you work it with whatever it is, a paper or whatever mat, you're moving it with your mind already, you know? And so what I teach is repeating the question over and over and over in your head, so that you don't have time to concentrate on moving it with your mind. So it's just like, you're repeating the question over and over, because you're allowing the energy to, you know, you're allowing your own higher self to answer it, right? So that you won't be focused, like, say yes, tell me yes, you know? And then it tells you yes. So that's how I teach it. But like I said, there's different techniques. People do it differently than I do. But I always say that the way that the pendulum moves will be based on your energy and your intuition. And, you know, you're not doing it right or wrong. You're not doing it right or wrong. You know, it's based on you. So I always recommend for people who haven't had a pendulum or haven't used one, if you do buy one, make sure that you wear it around your body, or have it in your pocket, whatever, in your bra. I know a lot of people put crystals in their bras. I do too. But have it on yourself for 3 days, because it starts resonating with your energy and integrating with it, okay? So that's what I recommend. And for crystals too, if you want to work with certain crystals, you know, like for healing work and stuff like that, start putting them around your body, or, you know, for 3 days, so that it could start integrating. You start exchanging energy. All right. Oh, thank you, Missy. Yes, Tonic. Let me just take mine out real quick, and I'll show you which one I have right now that I'm integrating. It's right there in my bra. So this is the Auralite 23 that I got from Jason. If you guys are interested in Auralite 23, I highly recommend Jason for that, because he gives you a discount. I believe he said that it's at 50% off for like multiple orders or whatever. What is it that he called it? Anyway, it's on my post on my Facebook page. If you're not my friend on Facebook, sorry, but I couldn't post it here, but I will try to do a snapshot of it so that you know who Jason is. But yeah, so this is, I did a lot of research on it because, you know, it does have a similar pattern and or frequency as the Super 7, because I have a Super 7 as well, or the, you know, like Sacred 7. It does have a similar energy signature, but this is very different. The minerals are different in this one, okay? There are some, depending on where you get it, and this is actually from Canada. Okay? Because I asked him too, I was like, is it a Canadian, you know, or like 23? He was like, yep, straight from the mine. Okay, and that's why he gives a discount, because it's straight from the mine. Okay, I got this set for a very cheap price, and he gives free shipping as well. So I would not, like, he is the best. I love him so much because it was free shipping, and then he gave me this, or like a really good discount. And so if you guys really are interested, and you, oh my god, look at the energy on this thing. Oh my goodness, look how beautiful this is. But if you guys are super interested in having one of these, it is a consciousness enhancer or a connector to your higher self and higher realities and stuff like that, just like the Super 7 is. But the energy is really strong. So I'm integrating it for 3 days, and it's sitting in my bra. Jenny, you're going to have to talk to him about the pricing, because it depends on the grams that it weighs. This one in particular is, it was like 100 and something, but he gave it to me at a discount, like I said, because oh yeah, based on bulk or whatever, he'll give it to you in a discount if you buy more, okay? But this thing weighed exactly 77.7 grams. And that to me was like, oh my god, if this isn't meant to be with me, I don't know what is, you know? Because of that, you know, yeah, $1 a gram. Yep, Missy, that is correct. $1 per gram. And like I said, he'll give you a discount, free shipping, and he put it in like this cute little package, and I was just like, oh, that's so cute. But yeah, he's like the best. I honestly think he just started this business, I think a week ago, and holy cow, it skyrocketed. He has like a lot of these, like I said, he gets it straight from the mine. I'm gonna be working with him more to get like smaller sizes for the soaps that I'm creating, because I want you guys to feel the energy. But oh, Super 7 doesn't resonate with you? Well, this is Auralite 23. Like I said, it's a similar, it looks similar to it. It's similar vibration, but it's an actual stronger one. The Super 7 is way more expensive, by the way. I have a Super 7, it's half the size of this. And I paid like, and this was like, I think I got it like 2 years ago. I paid like, holy cow, I paid like $180, almost $200 for it. And that's like half the size, like probably like this big. And And yeah, I love the energy still, you know, I still use it and stuff like that, but this is way better. Especially the price. Look how big this thing is. It's really heavy too. So I'm like, with the bra that I'm wearing, I'm like, I have to use a certain bra so I could put that on there. So it will like fall down. But yeah, so that I highly recommend him to be your provider of this beautiful Auralite 23. But yeah, so I do, you know, everything that I'm saying is based on my own personal journey, as well as my own, the way that I perceive things through my own filter. Okay, you guys, like I said, it might not resonate with you guys, and that's perfectly fine, because you're, you know, unique. You see things differently than I do, and that's beautiful, because we are here for unity and diversity. Okay, united in diversity, you know, because we're not all going to be the same, right? We don't have the same skin color. We're not, you know, from the same cultural backgrounds and stuff like that. And that is why it is a beautiful thing for us to be different in that point of view. And even with the spirituality thing, where I know there's a lot of people who harp on, they're correct, they're right about spirituality and stuff like that. But like I said before, it is their point of view on their own journey, you know, and that is perfectly fine for them. They think it's the truth, then that's truth for them. Just like what I'm speaking to you guys, I think that's my truth, and that is true for me. It doesn't have to be true for you. I'm just sharing my truth. My own personal truth. And it's going to continue to grow and mold and become different, just like with energy, continues to change. And so, you know, that's just, I accept that, you know, because like I said, and I'll give you guys an example about why I accept it, because the twin flame thing, I'll give you guys that. I have, I used to have a friend, very big into the twin flame thing. I was in union when the whole twin flame thing, she started speaking about twin flame stuff like that. And, you know, and that's how we realized that me and my fiance are twin flames. So she was adamant about everybody out there going to be in a physical union as twin flames or whatnot. I didn't really resonate with that, and I just didn't know why at that time. But you know, that's her mission, you know, whatever, that's her perception, that's her truth. So I just, you know, was just like, okay, you know, let her do her thing, you know, I'm not gonna step in and say otherwise, because that's, you know, I don't resonate. So I never said anything to her about that. I never, you know, stepped in and anything like that until like before we stopped being friends, because I saw a video and of this woman called Michelle Patterson, and she's another angel lady, where she talked about twin flame stuff, right? Where she said it's gonna be based on the person's soul, that not everybody's gonna be in union, you know, and it completely came back to me like, holy shit, that is how I feel. She explained it perfectly, right? So I sent this person the video, and she blew the out. Like, she was really upset with me, like, that is not true, that's what I believe in, and she is making me feel like I am wrong, and, you know, just whatever. And I was just like, well, you know what, that's her perception, you know, that's how she explains it, that's what she feels, that's her truth. And again, she didn't agree with me, and that's perfectly fine, because she's in her own, you know, truth and her own path. And I told her, I told her, like, that's how I feel too, you know, that made me understand, like, actually in words what I was feeling about this whole thing. And after that, it felt like I kind of triggered that cycle of separation between me and her, and because I wasn't, in her mind, I wasn't supporting her path, which I was supporting her path, I was encouraging her on her path, but I guess she wanted me to be just like her, mentally speaking, where I cannot argue or I guess you could say challenge her her own reality, and I wasn't challenging her reality. I was just sharing my reality with her, but I guess it wasn't warranted. Which is fine. It's okay. I don't, whatever. But, you know, that's what I was talking to you guys about earlier, there, where we're here to help each other out with that stuff, where if we have a philosophy that's outdated, and there's proof that it's outdated, meaning that there's cycles that are coming into our lives that are helping us see that is proof that it's outdated, then, you know, we should embrace that. We should understand that, hey, you know, sometimes we're not always right. You know, we shouldn't just cling on to something that could easily change, you know. And the thing, and I'm not going to say that's something that everybody needs to do. No, it's just that's how I feel, where I'm not going to cling on to a philosophy that is going to be easily changed later on. That I'm going to, you know, it's kind of like with science where okay, there's a hypothesis that we need to go and see, like, is there evidence? No, there's not evidence. Only perception, only intuition, right? So it could easily change, especially with energy work. Everything could easily change right away, like within a minute. But yeah, so that's my 2 cents on that. And that's why I feel this way, because back then, like I said, I was very silent about the way I felt with her, going with her mission work as a twin flame reader and encouraging the whole twin flame union, physical union thing. And I was just kind of like, I don't believe that everybody's gonna be in union and physical because it's not necessary. But yeah, Doreen, that is exactly what I mean. Yep, it's the same thing. Jenny, yeah, flames burn. Yeah, because like I said, everybody is here on a different, you know, mission. Everybody is here to walk a different path, right? And so the whole twin flame thing as well, where not everybody's going to be in union physically, but they're always united with themselves. That's who the twin flame is a half, your half, your other half, you, pretty much in a different body, energetically speaking. And so there's never been a separation of energy. You know what I mean? Like, there's always going to be a link, but it is up to the person walking that journey to choose whether or not they're going to continue on that journey or they're going to go seek happiness with somebody else, right? Like I said, there's different scenarios. There's different people out there. There's people who are already married to somebody else and are happily married, and they do not seek that physical union. They work energetically with the higher self. You know, there's other people who don't have a physical twin here, who either passed away or never incarnated. And they're perfectly fine too, because they're working with that twin energy, right? And then there's people who are still holding on to that physical union dream. And like I said, that is perfectly fine for them. It's perfectly fine. There's nobody is wrong on how they seek that path, okay? How they seek their own path, okay? This is their own lessons. Yes, Norma, free will, exactly. And I do believe in free will. I'm adamant about that. I believe in free will. I believe because, like I said, there's always going to be evidence of free will. Why? Because you have a choice in your path. You have a choice in the way you create your reality. And it'll always be the right choice for you, okay? It will always be perfect for you, okay? And I've been looking at the whole mistakes thing, right? I've been thinking about that a very long time, because we feel guilty, you know, when we do make mistakes, where we choose a path that leads to heartache or just lower vibration, right? We feel guilty about that, right? I believe that there is no mistakes, you guys, because when we think about it, if you didn't experience that path, then you wouldn't be grateful for the one that you're on right now, which is a positive path, right? So there's always going to be the duality or the polarity in play. And I'll give you guys an example, because for a very long time, I resented my ex-husband, because I was married before, and I resented him for a very, very long time because he was an abuser. He tried physically abusing me, but he didn't succeed because I was in the military and I knew how to fight. So it didn't succeed, but I'm just saying he was a mental and emotional abuser, okay? And for a very long time, I felt really, really bad about myself. I was very depressed for a very long time. And after I decided to get out of that relationship, where I decided to get divorced because I was pregnant with my daughter, because I said, you know what, this is not a good environment for her, right? So I was just like, I'm never going to put her through that. I'm not going to put her through that type of abuse and make her feel that that's okay, you know? So after I got divorced, I still was working through the emotional damage that he did to me, you know, and you know, I'm not the victim here either, because I allowed that to happen for a reason, right? For a very long time, allowed that to happen. And so I started realizing that, you know what, I have low self-esteem. I had low self-esteem back then. I allowed this abuse to continue because I didn't think so highly about myself either. I didn't love myself unconditionally. I didn't like how I looked. I didn't like, you know, my physical body. I didn't like, you know, my hair and my eyes, whatever it is that you guys, you know, we all go through, right? So I didn't have self-love. I didn't have that unconditional love for self. And so it attracted him into my life, and he was my mirror. He was mirroring that so that I could understand what it was that I needed to fix, that I needed to heal, okay? And so as soon as we separated, because he still tried to control. As soon as we separated, I started doing the healing work within me, and I'm still going through some of these layers as well. But I say that it's not a mistake, because if I didn't marry him, if I didn't have you know, a relationship with him, then I wouldn't have my daughter, you know, and she is like the best blessing ever. And so that's why I'm seeing it in that way, where we don't make mistakes, you guys. We are at the perfect place for our soul's growth, you know. And so, you know, some people, you know, it's unfortunate, some people that are here to learn lessons the hard way, but then again, they're here to teach us that as well, you know. And so it's kind of like, you know, we learn from other people as well. You know, we learn from their drama or their trauma, you know, as well. So this is why I always say that, you know, whatever happens with us, whatever negative things that we go through, it's not a mistake, you guys, because it actually taught us something, right? Hi, Willow. But yeah, so anyway, I just wanted to talk to you guys about who I am, so you guys can get to know me better. And, you know, so that you won't be like, who's Ari? Who's StariAri? Who the hell she thinks she is? I was just kidding, you guys. But, so, yeah, so I'm going on vacation. I believe we're leaving tomorrow. I'm not sure. Yeah, we're leaving tomorrow. So, I just wanted to touch base with you guys. And I will be coming on live during it, because we're just, you know, hanging out with the in-laws. But on the mornings, I will be coming and giving you guys the card or the energy of the day, you know, whatever you want. But that's about it. But you guys, I did reduce my prices for readings and stuff like that, and energy work, because I was told, making sure that the sacred numbers are being highlighted, the ones that I always see. So 7s and 11s, I see them a lot. So and 3s and 2s. So I based it on that. But yeah, like I said, if you guys, you know, are interested in what I provide, it's already on the business page as well. Okay. And I have, I actually upgraded, some of the stuff that I do, like for the Galactic Heritage. I am providing a 30-minute one now, and it's at $77 for 30 minutes. And then the hour one is $111. But like, if I think next week I'm gonna have another sale, so if you guys want to wait for that, that's cool. If you don't, you could book today. But you know, this is something that I have stepped in fully now. You know, like I said, I used to be a special education teacher's assistant for 3 years almost. And so it was a hard decision to do because I love children. It was really, really, like, to me, it was like I cried a lot because I was just like, I don't know if I want to leave the kids alone, you know. I'm the only one that understands, you know. Or, you know, but I did, you know, I did on my short time, well, I would say 3 years, of being there, I did help people understand them better, you know, why they are the way they are, energetically speaking. If we are in a funky energy, they will know and they will react to that because they absorb our energies because they're healers themselves. And so I help people understand that, and I help them understand how the cycles of the moon as well as the weather actually affects them as well. Okay. And so they've been telling me like, oh man, you're so right. You know, when there was a thunderstorm, this little boy and this little boy did this and this and that. They were just all over the place and, you know, stuff like that. But it was really hard to make that choice of coming into this mission completely, you know, because like I said, I was doing it like this business, like this is my business, this is my livelihood. I was doing this, you know, like I guess you could say part-time for a while, and then I got to the point when I moved here, I kept getting these dreams where I had to do this, you know, full time, and I kept getting my guides saying you need to do this full time because, you know, you need to step into your mission fully and you need to do it, and then I'm just like, well, what the heck, you know? And so I never give myself readings, and so I had to give myself this reading. So what I actually use my life purpose deck. I do have that, you guys. I do provide that service for life purpose, understanding what your life purpose is. But I gave myself this reading, and it said counselor, spiritual counselor, and then it said healer, and then it said it's your choice. And then I was just like telling my guides, it says it's my choice. Like, I have free will. But then they're just like, yes, you do have free will, but guess what? It's gonna get harder. And it did, you know, because I was, for a very long time, I was just like, nah, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. I'll do it later. Right. Because I was very afraid of failure. You know, I was very afraid of like not having enough to be provided for. Right. Because we all have that thought, oh, we're not gonna have money, we're not gonna have enough or whatever. And then so I was just like, oh my God, I don't know. And with that energy, me being in that energy, I had talked to my fiance about it, and he picked up on that energy. And so he was like, no, I don't think that's a good idea. And so I was just like, oh my God, he doesn't support me, or, you know, just freaking out about it. And then months later, because I was resentful because things at work were getting worse. And that's how you'll know that you need to step it up into your mission, because things are gonna get worse in the location that you're at. And it's kind of like a little push from your guides, like, oh, it's getting bad, huh? And so you're just gonna be like, oh my God, like, what am I gonna do? And so I was just like, okay, all right, I surrender. I allow, okay, I'll do it. I'll quit. I'll do it. I'll resign, you know. And then as soon as I made up my mind to resign, things started getting better. Like, I talked to my fiance about it, and I was just like, I just can't do this anymore. You know, this environment that I'm in, it's not healthy. You know, I'm forgetting, you know, to be balanced and stuff like that. And so he was just like, okay, honey, I support you. And I was just like, oh my God, it's falling together. You know, everything's perfect now. And so as soon as he said that, the next day I resigned. And, you know, and it's so funny because it felt like a whole dream where I was just like, oh, okay, I'm going to resign. And so I'm going to talk to my boss. you know, about this. And she's always in and out of the office. You can't really find her there because she is a special education director, so she's everywhere in the actual community, working with other schools and stuff like that. So I finally caught her, and I was just like, I need to speak to you about something. And she's like, oh, what happened? Are you gonna quit? And I was like, oh my god, like, how did she know, right? And I was just like, unfortunately, I do have to, you know. And she's just like, oh no, like, she's like, oh, but we're gonna miss you and stuff like that, whatever. And I, you know, it's so funny because I've been working there for a while, and I just still didn't have access to email. So she was just, and I told her, I was like, I don't have access to email to give you a letter of resignation and stuff like that, like all professional. And she's like, oh, don't worry about it, I'll do it right now. And she typed it up for me. And then I signed it, and she was like, all right. But yeah, Rena, what's that tell you? But so I did it. I took a leap of faith. I finally listened to my guides, and I was just like, all right, I allow this to happen. You know, I allow it. You know, what I need to do for the mission, I'll do it. And so now I'm here, and now I'm talking to you guys, and it's been like a ride already. You know, it's been like, it still feels like a dream. It still feels like, what am I doing? But yeah, you guys, when you do get that feeling of you really want to be of service, and you will know. And like I said, I'm here to help you guys with that, of course, to provide a little bit of motivation. But when you do get that wanting to be of service, take the time that is appropriate for you to do it, okay? Like I said, I was doing this way before I decided to be completely engulfed in this mission. I was doing this, like I said, I was like in my early 20s, I was giving card readings, I was doing, you know, like, you know, channeling and stuff like that. And then, and it took me that long to get here. But, you know, that was my path. You know, that was my path. That's how it's supposed to be for me. It doesn't matter like how long you take, as long as you know, understand who you are and what you really need. Okay. And so honestly, it will be unique to you, and it'll be perfect for you. Okay. And just, you know, whatever direction you want to take, it's perfect. Okay. And I just want to give you guys that insight about me so you can know who I am. Hi, January. Hi, Emmy. Hi, Jax. Rena says, she's like, oh my gosh, just felt a brush of air go past me. Someone want me to hear this. Well, yeah, you know, Rena, like I said, you know, baby steps. If you need baby steps, that's perfectly fine. You know, as long as you have that want, of course, and then you listen to that want. You don't have to do what I did, you know, you don't have to just quit your job. Like, eventually, you know, your guides are going to guide you to the best possible scenario for yourself, of course. But yeah, you guys, it took me since I was pretty much a little kid, you know, I already had these gifts and stuff, but to acknowledge them, it took me in my early 20s. That's how long it took me to acknowledge them. And then of course, doing this work publicly, it took me, oh God, long time to do it, right? But like I said, it's what my soul wanted. And it'll be what your soul wants, okay? Who's that, Tina? Is that you, Tina, for the one that's answering us, StariAri Healings and Readings? Or is it Jax? Oh my god, okay, so, when Emmy shared, what is it, the new shirt, the new t-shirt? Okay, so I was like, I'm getting that for show, right? It was a GIF, right? And it came up as Emmy. I was just like, what the hell? That's not supposed to be that way. And I couldn't figure out how to fix that. And I tried to delete it, and it wouldn't let me delete it. And so I'm just like, oh my god, I'm like freaking out. And then so I was just like, whatever, you know, I'm just gonna comment saying that was me. But yeah, it usually happens like that. It's if we're like mediators of or like admins of a page, it'll come up like a random, like, especially if you do things on your cell phone, you can't change things right away. It'll come up like that, you know. But it's pretty funny. So that's why it's just like, I just comment like, it's Ari, it's not Abby. Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, you know, and that's what, like I said, that's why it feels right, you know, and it feels like a dream still, you know, where that I'm actually engulfed in this and I'm actually doing my mission work. And I really wish all of that for you guys, you know, and I know eventually you will do it like this, like submerged in it. Of course, when you're ready. But, you know, taking the baby steps, like doing like free readings or, you know, stuff like that for your friends and family, or doing free energy work for your friends and family. That's how I began, you know, and so I highly encourage that, of course. And if you still want to keep your job, your day job or whatever, that's perfectly fine too, you know. For me, in my particular situation, my guides were like, that's enough, you know. And I was just like, ah. But I took that leap of faith, and I was very much encouraged by a lot of my closest friends as well as my fiance. And so I knew it was the perfect time. You know, it was the perfect time for me to do this. And I am so grateful that I did. I am so grateful for this, because I got to meet all of you guys out there, and I got to do all these awesome sessions with like so many people, so many beautiful people. And truthfully, I mean it. You guys are beautiful, like inside and out. You guys are just absolutely gorgeous. Your energies are super unique and beautiful, because you guys are soul shards of soul, you know? We're all source energy, you know? So, you know, and we shouldn't forget that. But you guys, thank you again for watching and having me just talk my ass off here about myself. I don't really do this. I don't, like, for me, like, talking about myself is kind of like, I like learning more about other people than talking about myself. And so this is something that my higher self and guides were like, you need to start, you know, talking more about yourself, about your own journey, because there's going to be people out there who could relate, and so that people couldn't understand who you are and connect with you better. And I'm just like, oh fuck. Oh, Jenny, like, you know, and just, you know, do it the way that you think is best. Okay, you're welcome, Rena. Thank you, January. But yeah, so I'm feeling like the energies of these angels. Hold on, let me see what they want. They want to give you guys a card for encouragement. Let's see. Okay, so I'm getting the Angelarium one. They're just like right here waiting for me. They're like, you done? All right. Let's see what card. Ooh. Oh my God. Isn't this an encouraging card? Okay, so this is Archangel Gabriel. So Angel of Heralds, right? So in history, or energetically speaking, Archangel Gabriel is a messenger of God. He is the one who comes to you to give you information about what it is that you're here to do, what you're supposed to do, what are you being encouraged to do. If this isn't the perfect card, I don't know what is. This is so perfect, you guys. So let's see what he has to say. Archangel Gabriel. So he's saying, be yourself. Everything is as it should be for you. You are perfectly on the right path for yourself, and we are here to encourage and to support that of which you choose to do now and in the future, because you are very much necessary and needed here on Gaia for the ascension of all. We will always support any decision that you make, whether it is to go right head first on your path or to take your time. Everything that you do is based on your own soul's growth, and it is necessary for you as an individual soul. Keep up the good work. Aww, Archangel Gabriel, thank you. Alright, you guys, this is awesome. Because he was just like, they're all here, they're like, get the card. We want to give them a message. That's great, you guys. Aww. That makes me all teary-eyed. Alright, you guys. So, again, thank you guys for watching. And I don't know what time it is, but don't miss out. Emmy is going on at 5 p.m. Central, which is 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, for her auction. So do not miss out, because oh my god, you guys, those swords that she just created, oh, you guys don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. They're freaking amazing. Oh my god, that energy. Whew. But this is one of mine. This is my beautiful sword that she custom made for me. But seriously, do not miss the auction. You guys will see. Oh my god, everything that she makes is so unique. Like, there, you know, all the energy of the selenite, as well as, you know, anything else, like especially for those who get a custom sword, she speaks to your higher self for it, you know. And so even with the selenite speaks to her, how to dress the selenite, what type of energy does it want, you know, and stuff like that. It is beautiful work that she does, and everything is so unique. Nothing is replicated, I swear. Like, and that is why I love her so much, because everything that she creates is of its unique self because of the energies that she's listening to, you know. And so do not miss it out. Don't miss it. I think it's coming on soon. Oh no, wait, what time is it? Well, it's coming up at 5 p.m. Central. But anyway, you guys, thank you guys for watching and for being so supportive of my mission. And like I said, you know, as soon as you guys are out there speaking your mission truth and doing your work, I'm going to be like your #1 fan and support you head on, all right? Because that's what you guys been doing for me, and I am so freaking grateful for it. Thank you guys so much. I love you, and I'll see you guys on the message board with Emmy's live. Okay, bye.